Hey everyone, thank you for stopping by my channel, Cosmic Light Body. My name is Mark, and in this video I wanted to discuss manifestation. That's a very popular topic, the law of attraction and manifestation. How do we manifest from the right place? And what happens if we are a little too ambitious? Stay tuned. Hey everyone, if you have not already, please subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate it. So manifestation, that seems to be a very popular topic. Everybody wants to dive in and study the law of attraction, create vision boards, take inspired action, these types of things, which is fantastic. It helps to start to align us, but there is a danger to identifying with the mind when we're trying to manifest. And what happens is we start to go down a path that we really don't need to. Maybe it's a little bit premature. So I liken it to this. You go to the train station and you see 4 or 5 trains, and they're all going really towards the same destination. Little variations in the destination perhaps, but one is leaving right away and the others are leaving later. Well, our inclination is to get on the train that's going to leave right away because we feel that we're going to get to our destination first. But what we might not realize is that train is going to take a lot of detours. That train's going to go the long way. And that train is actually going to get us to our destination, if in fact it does arrive at the destination, much later than if we had just waited for the other trains to leave. This is what happens when we try to manifest from the wrong energy. We are bound to this timeline, the third dimension, and we all have deep-rooted programs running about we have to be taking action immediately, because the quicker we take action, the sooner we're going to be able to manifest our goals or our life's purpose. And that makes sense from the perspective of the timeline and the perspective of the energy that we are focusing on in 3D. Okay? But oftentimes, when we go down that path, we follow that energy, we follow the thought process, we want to dive into something, we end up encountering resistance. And that is because we are not aligned with our soul's energy. And we're not aligned with our soul's energy because we have not allowed these ideas to fully ground. They have not fully formed. It's almost like a seed has been planted, and as soon as the ground starts to crack, we want to really look at harvesting that seed, and that's really not how it works. We need to create space to allow the seed, and we need to nurture the seed and allow the seed to grow to maturity so that we can enjoy the fruit of the seed, the tree, whatever it may be that's growing. But when we jump on that train prematurely, because the mind says we have to be acting right now in order to manifest what we desire, we end up setting ourselves back because we head into resistance. When I talked about the train, I talked about the detours. And the detours really represent that resistance. What's happening is as we go down this path of jumping on these ideas that are just starting to percolate up, and we dive in, the mind takes off and takes control of these ideas and starts to put a lot of energy into something. And what the mind will do when we don't have a complete picture, we don't have a complete fullness, we have not fully grounded the higher vibrational energy that our soul is wanting us to recognize, the mind fills in the gaps. And we see this all the time. The mind creates from what it knows, the patterns that we've had since we were born. So we may have a little bit of an idea, and yes, it's true, this idea may be in alignment with your soul's purpose, but if we have not let it fully anchor so that we could take that inspired action from the perspective of that higher vibrational energy, we end up taking what we think is inspired action from the energy of our mind, which are the patterns in the lower vibrational thoughts. And that is what leads to resistance. We encounter difficulties. And when we encounter difficulties, the mind says, this has happened in the past. Got to plow through it. Let's keep plowing through it. And we encounter more resistance until finally we're like, you know what? This doesn't feel right anymore. And as we go down that path of resistance and encounter more of that dense energy, that's our soul's way of telling us that, hey, you're continuing to veer off path. And that happened because we didn't allow these ideas to fully ground, to fully mature. So the point of this video is to really say it's okay to allow the space to sit in a void, a void, an empty space, and allow ideas to start to come through. And as you start to recognize these things, and maybe they come in as thoughts, these ideas, and you start to focus in on them, the mind's going to kick off and say, let's run, let's get on that first train, let's go. That's when we want to have restraint, and we want to be patient, and we want to allow the space for this to continue, because you know what? The idea is just the beginning. The knowing of how to execute it and knowing which action to take is really key, because that's going to keep you out of resistance when you're trying to manifest. So a lot of the problem with the law of attraction is that people they run off at that first inkling, that first spark of frequency that feels really good, and off they go, and they don't allow it to fully ground. And that's what leads to the resistance. So next time you're feeling this, sit with it, anchor it. Just allow space, allow things to come. Because you're going to find what happens is, when you could sit with an idea and not do anything about it and be comfortable with it, you will attract more knowledge in knowing of what you need around the frequency of that idea. So the support will start to come. And you have to allow the space for that support to come. And you'll start to notice, maybe you're going to start seeing synchronicities, or events are going to happen externally that are going to be aligned with that idea, that are going to be very fully supportive of it. So instead of diving into resistance, taking off, and trying to create that support externally, you're going to find that the support's coming to you. And there's going to be a point when this frequency is bubbling up in you, this high frequency of these ideas, that you will know in your soul how to step forward and take action. The mind will not have to lead that process. The mind will simply be there to support it. And that's what we want. That's what we want to do. So don't jump on the first train you think is going to get you to your destination because it's leaving early. Hang out. Hang out and let that frequency anchor, let it fill. Because with it, as you ground it, the knowing, the knowledge of how to move forward will manifest through. And you will find that you will be moving towards your purpose with very little resistance. So I hope this video helped you guys. If you have any comments, please leave it below. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I'd really appreciate it. Hit the like button, of course, if you enjoyed the video. And I thank you guys so much for stopping by. And I will talk to you soon.